As of now, we are about one-fifth of the way through the 21st century, and thousands of movies have already been released, some of which will undoubtedly be remembered for years to come as classics. Movies are often an escape from reality, a window of time when your problems all fade away into the silver screen, even if it's only for a little while. That's the reason we love them. In fact, we love movies so much that the global film industry was worth 136 billion in 2018. Hollywood is the world's oldest national film industry and remains the largest in terms of box office gross revenue. Indian cinema is the largest national film industry in terms of the number of films produced and the number of tickets sold, with 3.5 billion tickets sold worldwide annually, compared to Hollywood's 2.6 billion tickets. Hollywood is actually the world's third largest film industry if you count it by feature films produced, just behind the cinema of Nigeria, often referred to as Nollywood. After Nigeria's independence in 1960, the cinema business rapidly expanded, with new cinema houses being established and the industry finally peaking in the mid-2000s to become the second largest, placing it ahead of the United States and only behind India. As for music, a lot has changed in the last 20 years or so, most importantly because of streaming, which now makes up for about 80% of the music industry's revenue, while only 9% comes from the physical sales of CDs and vinyl. Another important factor is how widespread the smartphones have become, which is probably the cause that now the majority of music is listened to on phones. The music industry saw an astronomical 611 billion song streams in 2018, according to an analysis study. It's also worth mentioning how, thanks to the internet, some artists that no one would have thought have become mainstream internationally, like K-pop group BTS or reggaeton superstar J Balvin.
The telephone is a telecommunication device designed to transmit acoustic signals by means of remote electric signals. Alexander Graham Bell was long considered the inventor of the phone, along with Elisha Gray. However, Graham Bell was not the inventor of this device, but only the first to patent it. This occurred in 1876. On June 11, 2002, the United States Congress passed Resolution 269, recognizing that the inventor of the telephone had been Antonio Meucci, who called the telephone and not Alexander Graham Bell. Before, the phone were discs, so you had to deal with your finger. For example, if you dialed 6, you had to make a translation movement until you reach 6 and then realize it give the resolution movement, so on, other number and to deal the desired number. Now, the mobile phone is an electric wireless device to access and use a service of the mobile network, taking up less space and comfortable to carry everywhere. The washing machine is an electrical appliance which can be a household appliance or the industrial use, generally used to wash clothes. It has a central room with holes what rotates while water and intrudes, making the detergent mix with the dirty clothes. The movement of the drum is caused by an electric motor. Before, washers didn't have an automatic on and off system, doesn't have automatic drying, and doesn't automatic regulation the amount of soap or fabric softener. Now, they are better since they don't damage the clothes, with the fact that they bring a cycle that is for delicate clothes. I consider that they are lighter, safer, and more efficient, with more functions, cheaper, more brands, and more variety. The juicer is an instrument or tool invented and designed to extract the juice of citrus, orange, lemons, grapefruits, etc. The design allows to separate and crush the pulp of the mentioned fruits manually and easy to operate. This device is usually found made of different materials such as plastic, glass, metal, etc. Before, you had to spend more time extracting the juice, more energy and more orange signs. As it was manual, it didn't squeeze well. Now, in the electric juicer, the pulp is better used, since they usually have double rotation and some models have fines attached to the cone that extract the pulp juice that is falling. An iron is an appliance that is used to smooth clothes by removing wrinkles and marks. The plate works by loosening the links between the long chains of polymer molecules that exist in the fibers of the material. The fibers stretch and retains their new shape when cooled. This is accomplished with heat, as it functions as a weighted heating resistors. Some materials like cotton require the use of water to loosen intermuscular ties. An iron was used, so it was heated with charcoal. It had to be held with flannel or rag to avoid burning. The clothes could burn because the temperature could not be controlled. They wrinkled us very well. The risk that in some accident the iron would open and the coal would fall and they would also rust. Now they have a water tank inside the iron used to generate the steam, an indicator that shows the amount of water remains in the tank, and heats clothes with the steam. A constant steam device delivers steam regularly to clothes. Excavator shovel or mechanical shovel to a self-propelled machine on tires or track with a structure capable of rotating at least 360 degrees one way and the other uninterrupted deformation. It excavates lands or loads, lifts, rotates and unloads materials by the action of the bucket, fixed to the set consisting of boom and arms or rocker, without the supporting structure or chasing moving. Before, to carry out any heavy work, the excavator shovel is used, because in addition to being small, not very heavy, it's represented a very useful tool for making small excavations. Now, the backhoe is much more useful for collecting earth in lower plane. For this reason, it is widely used for redirecting trenches.
Television is an essential product that all we have in the house, but now I will present you 5 specific moments revolutionary for this product. The engineer John Lloyd Bird created television. Before, he was trying to copy the electromagnetic radio system, but nobody supported him. At the end, the project was expensive than he expected. On January 26 of 1926, John shows the world how his system really works. 1 year later, he finally could make a transmission between London and New York through radio signals. In the same year, the BBC was the first one to use this new TV system. In 1939, the Mexican Guillermo González Camarena created the trichromatic sequential system, the first to make possible the color television. This system is based on the use of 3 basic colors: red, green, and blue. After that, scientists from all over the world start to make his own system, but everyone based on the Mexican one. Also, González Camarena presented an improvement to his own system in 1958. The nowadays television used the same red, blue, and green system that Camarena created. The first flat TV for domestic use was developed by Philips. It was 42 inches and has a plasma technology. The first was launched to the market for an original price of 15,000 euros. Today, this means 372,000 Mexican pesos. And this was the first television that you can hang on the wall as if were a paint. This is made with two crystal panels that between has some gases like neon, argon, and xenon. These gases become in plasma that make light. Today, the plasma screens are discontinued. A LED screen is made by a lot of LEDs. It can display data, information, images, videos, etc. This kind of screen has pixel-proof LED panels and use the same red, green, and blue system that González Camarena developed years ago. On 2004, Sony presents the first LED televisions that Sony called Qualia 005. On 2008, Sony launched the first television with HLED technology, better than the red, green, and blue system. Finally, we get the Smart TV. Nowadays, everyone has minimum one in the house. In 2010, different companies presented the first Smart TV in an expo in Las Vegas. This kind of TV born with the intention to combine the domestic TV and the internet from the computers. With the time, they become cheaper and easy to get. Now, smart TVs are replacing the TV services like Sky, Dish, Megacable, and now the people prefer to get the streaming services like Netflix. It's been a very important product for the history. What do we expect for the next generation?